Count 3, 2. We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. My name is Doni Glover. Of course, I'm the publisher. This has been my bailiwick for the past 30 years, the Black Press. And right now, we're at the National Newspaper Publishers Association convention here in the city of Baltimore. We're at the lovely Four Seasons Hotel. And let me tell you, I'm truly honored. I just met for the first time ever Mr. Bob Bogle of the Philly Tribune, and he is legendary. Inside, there's Cheryl Smith from the Texas Metro News, who I got to see. Of course, the Afro royal family, including Francis Tony Draper, her husband Andre, and her son, Mr. Kevin Peck, and his wife, Dana. Also, Joy Bramble's in the house from the Baltimore Times, as well as Paris Brown. So these are some of the icons in the Black Press. Mr. Earl Graves, of course, up at Morgan State University, named the Earl Graves School of Business. Ida B. Wells, she was huge in terms of journalism and writing to stop lynching in these United States. And of course, John Murphy Sr., John Henry Murphy Sr., the founder of the Baltimore Afro, founded in 1840 to 1992. That's when he lived. The newspaper was founded, I think, in the late 1800s. Down that way, you got Frederick Douglass. You also have Kathy Hughes and Joy Bramble. Frederick Douglass, of course, had the North Star printed in Rochester, New York. Then he moved to New York City. Kathy Hughes, largest radio icon, legend, magnet, TV One, Radio One. Then, of course, Joy Bramble from the Baltimore Times. They've been publishing over 40 years. But look, I gotta show you this one last thing. Look at these newspapers. Now, those who have been following my work know that I've been writing about the newspapers and how newspapers are coming. We're dealing with a challenge. They're not printing as many newspapers anymore. But this newspaper here, let me tell you, they gave me my first national exposure. Big ups to Mr. Richard Muhammad, the editor-in-chief of the Final Call. This is the first time my story started to go national. Just before, as I was starting BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Got the Baltimore Times, West Philly Journal, the Forward Times, the Mississippi Link. Let me just say this, with these various newspapers, it is so important. Hey, Mr. Fields, it is so important to have a voice, and that's what the Black newspaper, the Black Press represents. Mr. Claude Barnett, he comes to mind from the National Colored Press. It was a huge association. I think I got that right. Before NNPA, you had the National Colored Press, and it was out of Chicago, and he not only connected all of the Black newspapers in the United States, but he also connected those newspapers with the Black newspapers around the world, including Africa. I love the Black Press. I wrote for the Afro, the Baltimore Times, started with the Cop and Courier. Of course, I told you about the Final Call. And then I started my own 22 years ago, online. And so I represent a digital native, the next generation of news. Special thank you to our camera woman. She won't take any credit, but I'm gonna give it to her anyway, Katanya Lester. And thank you, Katanya, for inviting me to this all-out spectacular event. Kudos to the National Newspaper Publishers Association, Mr. Ben Chavis Muhammad, Stacey Brown, and the new lady, Kelly
Hodges.
Kelly Hodges, the new executive director. I met her. I didn't know I was so short. But nonetheless, welcome to Baltimore. We love NNPA, and I look forward to many, many more times dealing with this historic institution. 200 member newspapers and news outlets, 200. And hopefully I'll be 201, the 201st. Anyway, thank you very much. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.
And what's coming up for you?
Oh, my 30th anniversary. Next Wednesday, June 26th, the day before my birthday. I turned 59. But they'll be celebrating my 30th year as a journalist. You can go to Doni, D-O-N-I, Glover, Coppin, C-O-P-P-I-N, .eventbrite.com. Doni, Glover, Coppin, .eventbrite.com. We were going to have the Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Awards, where we celebrate Black entrepreneurs and professionals, as well as the people who support them regardless of race. And I cannot forget my dear sidekick, my partner in crime, Miss Marcia Jews. Keep watching Be More News, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. And welcome to Baltimore.